Welcome to the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre in Albury, Wodonga for what is a very, very special night. It's the biggest night on the Southern Vale Home Bandits calendar. It is the Alan McCowan Memorial Match, and it's coming to you live on NBL1 action tonight. 357 games, beyond 8,500 points, 1,300 plus assists, 3,049 rebounds, 297 blocks, and more than 800 steals, 2002 East Conference MVP, 2001, 2002 Seabill All-Star, and 2001 East Conference Champion. There has been no better player in the history of the Southern Vale Home Bandits than Alan McCowan. And tonight we're pleased to bring you the memorial match. Two massive games against very well-credentialed opposition, the Nunawading Spectres. A special good afternoon or good evening to everyone listening to us from Nunawading as well for this match. It promises to be a real clash of two sides that'll probably both in women's and men feature in finals action a little bit later on. Our broadcast, as always, from Albury is brought to you courtesy of the SSNA. If you are visiting Albury, there is their only place to go and visit. Go and check out their meals. They have an Asian restaurant, a fantastic bistro, and right now, the NBA Finals. Where else would you want to watch it than the massive screens at the locker room? This man's just come back from Game 1 recently from there. Jade Kolf joining in Steve Murphy in commentary. The Kolf man really looking forward to this on a very, very special night.
Very, very special night, Murph. Yeah, what a real honour to be here in the commentary booth alongside you tonight. The Alan McCowan game, the crowd is building. It is a big one on the calendar, Murph, so really looking forward to this tonight. As you said, two outfits here tonight who we're really going to get more of an indication and an idea of which way they're going to progress through this season. The jury is still out on this Border Bandits outfit on the women's side of things. They've been hot and cold so far this year, coming off a loss in their last one, and Nunawading coming into the arena tonight, the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Look, I think the first half is going to be very, very important, but most importantly, Murph, it's a great special occasion tonight, and it's a part of an action-packed program, which we are certainly looking forward to bringing the people at home.
Well, this match for our listeners playing at home, you've got 9th position, the Bandits taking on 6th position Nunawading, so finals up for grabs. They've got a 6-4 record, the Bandits. They have a 7-4 record, Nunawading. Both sides have won one of their past three, so coming in with a bit of scratchy form during the season. Now, the Bandits in particular haven't beaten anyone above them this year, Kolf, so this presents the challenge. 3 games, 3 losses. On the other side of the spectrum, well, they've played 5 teams, Nunawading, inside that top 8. I've said they've lost 4. Well, they've for the season, they've lost 3 of those to sides inside the top 8. So both of these sides struggling against the elite side in the competition tonight. The Bandits get their opportunity to stand up. For our Nunawading listeners, well, your girls get the chance to cement themselves inside that top 8.
Yeah, definitely, Murph. As you said, when it comes to the records, the win-loss records, they can be deceiving at times, and as you've done a great job there as we unpack that and take a look at the quality wins, that does come into the equation. So Nunawading coming in here tonight, they have played, as I said, more quality wins against the upper echelon of the league. So, look, the Bandits have played some really, really good basketball so far this season, but there's been times where they've been really, really flat. Tonight gives us another chance to really see what they're capable of, what they're made of. And, look, really looking forward to it. The crowd is building, and it's a very special evening. And the first half is going to be very, very important and give us an idea of what this Bandits team is really all about.
Should be a wonderful night for Nunawading. A couple of players to look out for. Chelsea D'Angelo, she's a Melbourne Boomers player. She'll be in the number 7 tonight, studying a law degree, so smart as well as talent on the basketball court. In the final 17 of the under-19s Gems to play in the World Cup in July. Rachel Brewster's another one, 4 years from Utah State, playing 4th for points in school history over there with Utah, 126 NCAA games. And Kathleen Shear's another one, an American import. Past 6 years she's played with Hobart, plus a couple in the WNBL with Adelaide and also Sydney Uni. She's from Duke University. So a couple of players to look out for our Nunawading friends. From the Bandits' perspective, keep an eye on Charisse Daniel, one of the American imports. Former Emily Harmon teammate, who's the other import. From Ohio State, played in Germany, Portugal, Romania, Greece, Sweden, Hungary, and come across from Iceland. Jessie Edwards comes across from WA. She played with Minnesota Uni over in the States and finished 6th for blocks in their history and 9th for offensive rebounds. And then Natalie Hurst as well, 7-time WNBL champion, of course, former Opal, and just fresh off a Bendigo Spirit MVP in the WNBL. Almost set to get this underway. Jade Kolf alongside Steve Murphy. Great to have your company for the SSNA club in Albury. It is the opening tip-off. Shear goes up against Edwards, and it's the Bandits, well, that win it down, but straight away it's going to go to the possession of Antonia Du. Back across to Shear. And I'll touch on Shear a little bit tonight. Very quality player. Chilcott, her opening possession, puts it off the glass, and the first points go the way of the Spectres tonight. Special
move there. Charisse Daniel, she won't like that early on, Murph. We know that she likes to play that lockdown defence, but that gives you a little bit of an idea of the talent on display tonight.
So straight away a score for the Spectres as Mahadi passes in to Edwards, and the foul has been called on Shear, who looks a bit perplexed by it. Fouls early on against the big players, not the way, obviously, any side likes to go. And Shear a bit perplexed. I did touch on her a few moments ago. 15 points her average this year, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. So keep an eye on her, Kolf.
Yeah, absolutely. Former Duke product, as you said, Murph.
73%. Jessie Edwards is going from the line so far this year. Her first no good. But the second rolls off the rim as well. So a shaky start for the Bandits here. Chilcott brings it up the floor for the Spectres. Palms off straight away to Rowe. Back across to Shear. Drives on the left. Switches back to the right on Edwards. Puts it off the glass. Doesn't go. Shear tries to get a second chance. No good. And Daniel, the American import of the Bandits, comes up with a ball. Edwards and Nat Hurst. Flicks it in across to Mahadi, one of 2 American imports, but spending plenty of time with the Bandits over the years. Here's Edwards off the glass. Nice move to the left around Shear, and we are squared up at 2 apiece.
Great move there from Edwards, Murph. They have gone to Edwards early on in the contest on the majority of their home games this year. No different tonight.
So Chilcott drives just outside the paint, flicks a wide one. Antonia Du flicks it across. Driving Rowe had it knocked away from Daniel. Foul called on Charisse Daniel. So a foul apiece, early stages in this contest.
Yeah, Charisse's first foul there, Murph. I thought that might have been number 2, but there was no foul on the first bucket that was scored. So we know how important she is in the big scheme of things to Coach Lauren Jackson's defensive scheme. She needs Charisse on the court tonight for this entire contest.
Kira Rowe, 77% from the free throw line, counts her second, and that is the lead by 1 to the Spectres as Hurst palms across to Daniel, who brings it up court. 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Across to Mahadi, into Edwards underneath the bucket. Edwards puts it up off the glass, and it's good for 2 more. Jessie Edwards, who's had a fine season for the Bandits, it must be said, in 2019. Been a very, very good pickup, very strong in the paint. As Antonia Du passes across to Shear. Now back to Chilcott here. Double team. Chilcott gets back across to Shear. Drives inside the paint. Flicks it out wide. Open is Rowe. Our first 3 of the night. Perhaps it is. Great shot by Rowe. Kira Rowe landing a big bomb.
Fantastic patient offense there from the Spectres, Murph.
And Mahadi and the Bandits with possession. So a nice little feel about this one to start. Daniel drives inside the paint, draws the contact. Bucket doesn't go, but Daniel will head to the line where for season 2019, Charisse Daniel going at 75%, averaging 13 points this year.
Yeah, Charisse, we speak about her a bit from the commentary booth, Murph. You're being the import, most fans think, most people think that why isn't she scoring enough? Why isn't she doing more at the offensive end? But she really balances out her defensive work and her offensive work as well. And she can be just as lethal with the ball in hand.
She's picked up a foul call early on in the game, but now she's picked up a couple of buckets as well as we go 6-all. 7:42 remaining in the opening term. And the Spectres are being asked to bring the ball back. Chilcott obliges, passes it back. Pizzi alongside her for company. 4 points to Rowe. Leads the way for the Spectres. 4 points to Edwards. Leads the way for the Bandits. Chilcott with a ball. Backcourt. Brings it up, guarded by Daniel. Across to Antonia Du. Antonia Du back to Shear, thought about the three, drives inside, passes across. Well, it wasn't a bad ball to Pizzy, but just fumbled it in the end. Here's Mahadi. Former NCAA Division 2 champion in towards Edwards underneath the bucket, puts it up and doesn't go, comes off the rim, down to Shear, gets the rebound. Antonia Du passes across to Rowe, an easy layup, 6 points to start the game for Kira Rowe. Nice start by that young lady.
Great fast break action there from Nunawading.
Yeah, good in transition up the floor, Kolfman.
Absolutely easy buckets, hard to come by.
Mahadi, a little mid-range jumper, no good, a little strong. Daniel tapped it down, but only as far as Rowe, who's had a lightning start. Here's Chilcott driving up the court, gets underneath the bucket, gets support. Out wide, this is Pizzy for three. Comes off the backboard, and Shear will be fouled here. It'll go against Emma Mahadi.
Yeah, Mahadi in the paint there. She was trying to hold her position there, Murph, but couldn't hold on. Obvious foul, but we know what Mahadi brings to the table. She brings that aggression.
Antonia Du looking for a pass, flicks it very long and out wide to Pizzy. Has it. Guarded by Harmon, gets a screen here by Shear. Back across, Chilcott for three. Well short, and it'll be a Bandits baseline ball. 8-6, 6:28 remaining in the contest. Nunawading leading by 2. The visitors coming in, as I said, with a 7-4 record. The Bandits with a 6-4 records. Nat Hurst drives just outside the paint and puts it up. It's good. The little floater. We're tied up at 8 apiece again.
Beautiful move from Nat Hurst.
Antonia Du out wide. Rowe thought about the three. Stepped out of court. Adjudicates the referee.
Yeah, just back on Nat Hurst there. Murph, she's an explosive scorer when she wants to be. Just great seeing her get inside the paint and just use that experience. That international experience is just so imperative.
Emma Mahadi liked what she's seen there, but couldn't get it to go. And Shear palms off to Chilcott. Daniel goes down. In the centre of the court, Chilcott back to Shear, flicked it inside to Pizzy, doesn't get it to go. Edwards with a defensive rebound, down to Nat Hurst, who drives it up the floor against Antonia Du. Hurst to Daniel. Edwards, now Mahadi. Steps to the left, back to Harmon. Inside to Nat Hurst, wonderful assist there by Emma Mahadi.
Nice backdoor play there.
Emily Harmon, I should say.
Just talking on Nat Hurst there. She wanted the ball up the top, but then cut with the backdoor play. Great execution.
Harmon with the assist. A nice one, too, for the Bandits to get them back the lead. Nice
pass.
little move there. Inside across to Antonia Du, who puts the bucket away.
What a pass from Shear there. Just showing her versatility, Murph.
Very, very good player, Colf.
Former Duke product.
Keep an eye on her tonight. Have a big, big say in this contest. Now, there's been a foul picked off it, and I reckon it is going against Jessie Edwards, if I'm not mistaken. Called for the foul. In fact, it's not. The foul's actually going against Nunawading. It's going against Pizzy. As Mel Kirby checks into the game. Her first minutes on the floor tonight. Kirby's been pretty good this season, coming off the bench for the Bandits. Daniel tries to go in across to Harmon, and the Spectres just tap that out of play, so Bandits ball again.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there, Murph. Mel Kirby has been one to provide some aggression and punch off the bench, and getting rewarded with some early minutes here from Coach Jackson.
So 4:45 remain for the SSNA in the opening term here. 10 apiece. Good start to this one. Good feel about the contest. Now Kirby going to float one across the top, looking for Harmon. Rolls off the toes of Antonia Du. Hurst gave to Daniel, puts up the shot with 2 on the shot clock. Edwards taps it back to Kirby. Ball goes out. It'll be a Spectres ball. To take it will be Pizzy. And now Chilcott to bring it up the floor. Pizzy and Chilcott combining, and now Rowe into Shear. Drives against Edwards, switches back right, then left, and then up to the left mid for a couple of points. Spectres back in the lead, 12-10.
Beautiful post move from Shear. She looks like the complete package down low, Murph. The Bandits would want to keep the ball out of her hands on the low block.
Well, Kirby decides for the 3 over the top. Harmon keeps it alive. Back to Hurst. Out wide for Kirby. Now Daniel. They work around the arc, and 2 seconds on the shot clock. Hurst needs to put up the jumper. She does. It's no good. Comes down to Pizzi across to Antonia Du, and Charisse Daniel called for her second foul of the night.
Another cheap one there on Charisse Daniel. Coach Jackson straight to the bench. Charisse will go and have a rest there. We just spoke about that there. Those cheap fouls, we talk about them week in, week out, Murph. And they can be very, very detrimental to a team, especially when you're an important player like Charisse Daniel. She's going to have to think it over.
Molly Rice checks into the game for the Bandits. Now, this is Chilcott. Driving left, flicks it out wide for Rowe, almost taken by Hurst. Rowe good enough to get it back. Antonia Du steps around Mahadi. Mid-range jumper is good. 4 points to lead to the Spectres. Here comes Hurst. Quickly to Kirby. In across to Rice. Foul called. Strong by Rice. And we'll go to the line for a couple.
Yeah, well done from Molly Rice there. Getting on the fast break. And well done from Kirby there to sling that pass to Rice, who goes to the line as Coach Jackson just speaking with her international point guard in Nat Hurst. Good start to this one, Murph, 14-10. Both teams really just get a sense that it just filling each other out early on.
It's real on par. We haven't seen either side at the moment really, go on that 6-0, 8-0, 10-0 run at the moment. Yep. It's been fairly even across
physical contest so far. Said feeling each other out.
Antonia Du up the court. Going to look forward to calling her name a bit tonight, Colt Man. Antonia Du.
It's a challenging one.
Rowe back across, working to Shear. A little bit easier to adjudicate. Out wide, jumper goes up here by Boyd. Tessa Boyd doesn't go and comes down to Hurst, who will take it away. Tessa Boyd, another one on this Spectres talented lineup. Was on the Western Bulldogs AFLW list before this season, Colf. Was Tessa Boyd.
Yep.
So talented in multi-sports and applying a draft at the moment in NBL1 before she heads back across the WAFL later on in the year.
Yep. No, very good to have some versatility in all sports, Murph. Timeout, Coach Lauren Jackson. She wants to talk it over. 14-12, Spectres lead. 2:49 left in this first period, Murph, and liking what I see so far. We can see that Nunawading, a lot of their offense runs through their star Kathleen Shear, the former Duke product. Incredible program, college basketball program is that, so no surprise that that young lady can certainly play some ball. And Coach Jackson, a little bit concerning with Charisse Daniel, one of their number one perimeter defenders with 2 fouls. She really want to, keep that in check. You don't want 3 fouls after 2 periods of basketball, but I like where this one stands early on, Murph.
SSNA timeout called right there. Go and see the NBA Finals at the SSNA locker room. Colfman, I think we got some stats just here to run through in the opening stanza. Percentages are fairly even.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Nunawading, great shooting to start with, Murph, 55%. The Bandits are only at 36%, so as I said, early days, rebounding quite even, 8 to 5, assists quite even, so no surprise that the scoreboard at this stage, Murph, is very even as well. And as I said, with this blockbuster matchup tonight, this match so important, so both teams, they want to keep in touch early on and then look to make their move as this match progresses.
Kathleen Shear dominating the boards at the moment with 4. No one else has more than 1 currently on that list. Now, Antonia Du with the ball, passes inside. And now with Rowe, who flicks it back to Antonia Du, goes across to Nankervis. Bucket doesn't count. And the foul has been called here on Kirby.
So we've got side ball here, Merv, is that right? No, they got shots. No, not in the
side ball, my understanding.
Side ball.
Rowe to take it. Nankervis adding a bit of size too on the floor at the moment in the 11 for Nunawading. It will be 2 shots, so some confusion. It'll be taken here by Emma Nankervis. Washington State College she played for.
Just love seeing the players playing in this NBL1 competition with collegiate experience, Murph. Really adds to the league.
Keely Frawley's another one we'll see later on, the 2 Americans from Portland College. Now, this is Kirby. It's a Harmon out wide. Mahadi for 3. It's good. Lands a big blow, Emma Mahadi. We're accustomed to seeing that at the LJ Centre.
Great stuff from Emma Mahadi. She was wide open. She was screaming out to Harmon to give her the pass, and she delivered.
2 minutes on the clock. Nankervis flicks it back across. Well, tried to find Pizzi. Hurst took it away for the Bandits to Mahadi. Gets within jumper range. Flicks it back across to Hurst. 15 apiece for the SSNA. 150 remaining on the clock. Hurst to Rice. Gets the screen and then gives to Kirby. Puts up the 3. Doesn't get it to go. Kirby gets the ball back, however, underneath the bucket. Good hustle. Rice out to Hurst. Back to Rice. Puts up the 3. Just short and will eventually go out. Spectres will get the ball back.
It's okay. Good shots there, Murph, though. Rice wide open. Well done, Mel Kirby. She's scrapping and fighting in there. Got her own rebound in there. She's not afraid to get in there and mix it with the tall timber.
Antonia Adu checks out of the game. Sorry, Colf, continue.
No, you're right. No, we have seen that from Kirby, and that's why she's getting early minutes here from Coach Jackson. Loves her effort.
So Chilcott brings it up the floor. Brewster checking in. Rachel Brewster for Nunawading in that meantime as Antonia Adu checked out. And this is her right now. Brewster with the ball. Palms across to Boyd. Tessa Boyd, who I spoke about. Nankervis. And the little jumper shot put up here by Brewster. No good. Bandits with numbers. Comes down to Hurst. Across to Mahadi. Bandits up the floor. Rice. Now Hurst. Hurst puts up the 3 and it's good. The Bandits lead by that margin. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter here from the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre.
Yeah, Hurst absolutely lightning from long range. She is so deadly. We've seen it all season, Murph.
Chilcott inside across underneath the bucket. Nankervis. That 2 is good. And the margin goes back to 1. Beyond or under 40 seconds now remaining in the opening term for the SSNA club in Albury. Now this is Rice. Mahadi drives on the left. Looks across. Rice, top of the key, puts up the jumper and it's good for 2. Bandits by 3.
Great stuff there from Molly Rice, providing some good minutes, some good shooting off the bench.
Well, shot clock and game clock now identical. So not sure if the Bandits will get another opportunity or not. Chilcott back around. Shear for 3 from downtown. No good. And a foul is being called here. It'll go against Tessa Boyd. And the Bandits, with just under 5 seconds remaining in the opening term, will lead at quarter time.
Yep, over the back there on Nat Hurst. Great rebounding position from Hurst in the box out position. And she is going to be the beneficiary of a couple of free throws to round out this first period. As she makes the first. So reliable is Nat Hurst. What a season she's having for this Bandits outfit.
Pretty good opening term, it must be said. Nankervis gives across to Chilcott. The last right to this one. Puts up the little shot. Doesn't get it to go. No foul called. And that is the end of the first stanza thanks to the SSNA club. Bandits 22, Spectres 17. Kaufman, let's take a look at some of the stats that tell the story in the opening term.
Yeah, good quality first period there, Murph. Field goal percentage is quite even. 47% to the Spectres, 44 for the Bandits. The three-point shooting, so important as we know in today's modern game in basketball. Leaving a lot to be desired there. 20% for the Spectres, 1 from 5, 29 for the Bandits. Rebounding's very even, 9 apiece. And we've got assists very even as well, Murph. 4 assists to the Bandits, 3 to the Spectres. And, you know, the scoring leaders, Nat Hurst off to a hot start, 9 points. Rowe with 6 points for the Spectres in the rebounding. We talked about that girl from one of the Duke product there, Shear with 4 rebounds, and Nat Hurst doing a little bit of everything with 2 as well. She is all over the place, Nat Hurst. Overall, very, very entertaining first period, Murph. Bandits lead by 5 in what should be a really, really good night of basketball.
Well, I don't know about you. I love what I'm seeing to start this game. It is Alan McCowan Memorial Night here. The Bandits' greatest ever player, more than 350 games, 357 to be exact. A championship winner with a club, an absolute out-and-out star, Alan McCowan. And he's going to be honoured tonight in the best possible fashion, hopefully from a Bandits perspective, with a couple of wins. For Nunawading, well, the girls have certainly. Looks like it's going to be in for a very, very tight affair throughout the game. Just another thing of note too, Colf, that these two sides that lead me to believe for the SSNA club it's going to be a tight game. 78 points is the average for the Bandits per game, 80 points for Nunawading. And the average against for the Bandits, 76, 73 for Nunawading. So on those stats alone, you would suggest we're going to the wire tonight. Yeah,
well, let's hope so. We've seen some absolute crackers the first part of this season, Murph. And they look,
have we not?
Yeah, going on that first period there, these teams seem evenly matched. But as we spoke about earlier on too, Murph, the Bandits, they need a scalp. They need a good quality win tonight on their home floor, and what better way than do it tonight?
0-3 against sides above them on the ladder. That's what you're alluding to, Colfman. Antonia Du passed across Chilcott. Sheer involved. Antonia Du back across, looking for Pizzi. And it goes out across the baseline. It'll be Hurst and the Bandits' ball.
A little bit too much mustard on that pass there, Murph. Tried to zip it in there. Bandits' ball, Nat Hurst. What a start from her. She gives it off to Mahadi, top of the key. Edwards, back to Mahadi. Across to Harmon. Harmon into the low post. Edwards out of position. Clock winding down, turnover. Spector's ball.
Did nicely there. Chilcott. And Pizzi puts in the 2 points. Just couldn't quite get the Bandits get a bucket there, Colf. You're building nicely.
Well, building nicely, but look, shot clock winding down. Big turnover for the Bandits.
Second quarter action here. 9 remaining. 22-19. 3 points the lead to the Bandits as Shear, get me out of here, taps it over the line. And it'll be a Bandits ball.
Yeah, Shear's got an impressive work rate in there. She's giving up a couple of inches inside there, Murph. So she plays big, Shear.
So Mahadi.
Oh, it's a 5-second violation. Mahadi too long on the inbounds. Coach Jackson irate over there. Another turnover.
So Shear into Chilcott. And Chilcott loses it momentarily, then gets it back to Shear. Antonia Du drives to the left, back across to Chilcott against Mahadi. It's top of the key, steps inside the paint, wants to flick it across to Pizzi and just almost throws it nowhere, really. Taken by Mahadi across to Hurst. The 7-time WNBL champion with the Canberra Capitals flicks it to Edwards. Now the mid-range jumper from Harmon, a little strong. It comes down to Boyd, who takes it up the floor. In fact, Brewster, I should say. Brewster across to Chilcott. Looks for Shear now out wide. Brewster guarded here by Storer. Puts the shot up. It's good. The mid-range jumper for 2 points. The margin back to 1 in favour of the home team.
Beautiful mid-range jumper from Rachel Brewster, the Utah State product. That was smooth. As Hurst looks to go backdoor again. Mahadi. Ooh, off the front iron. Hurst on the hustle play. Ends up in the skybox section. And a scrappy start to period number 2, Murph, to say the least, as Coach Jackson swings the changes.
Yeah, looks like we are going to have a couple. Story was on momentarily. She's back off the court.
A little bit of Mahadi got the steal and then she throws it away again.
Antonia Du brings it up the floor, flicks it out. Brewster for 2, and it's good. Bottom of the net, nothing but. Goes in for 2 points, and the Spectres lead the contest once again.
A little bit of mental focus drifting here from the Bandits.
This is Rice, back across to Daniel, one of the 2 American imports. Here's Edwards, puts it up off the glass. Well, tried to. Shear fumbled it. Turns out okay to Chilcott, and is fouled here by Rice, which will be her first personal of the night. Possession will go the way of Shear. Passes straight across to Chilcott. So from the backcourt, Chilcott with the ball, heavily guarded by Mahadi, who is called for the foul. which will be a second on Emma Mahadi.
Yeah, Coach Jackson pleading with the referee.
So it's interesting here. 3 Bandits are sitting on 2 fouls each. Mahadi, Daniel, and also Mel Kirby.
Plenty of niggle in this one, Murph. This one's going up a notch. We like what we're seeing here.
Now Shear back across to Brewster, who's had a good start to this second. This is Shear taking on Edwards. Drives hard to the bucket. Hard move. Doesn't go for her. Pizzi was good. Out wide, Antonia Du. Beautiful shot for 3 from outside range. And the Spectres put a bit of separation in the game for the first time tonight. 4 points they lead. There's another whistle here. A foul called.
Plenty going on in the paint, Murph, and no surprise, but that girl, Emma Mahadi.
It's going against Chilcott.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. She is a competitor. She brings a lot to this Bandits outfit.
And Kirby back on after some words from the coach Jackson. Now this is Hurst. Drives. We'll try the drive against Antonia Du. Brings it back outside, inside towards Edwards. Edwards, nice little move by Jesse Edwards. Doesn't get it to go. Second chance. Points is good. The WA recruit converts. The Bandits back within 2.
Did a good job following that one up, Murph. Great job there from Edwards.
Brewster for 3 from outside. Comes off the rim and down. This is Nat Hurst driving it up the floor. Rice. Daniel, little jumper is good, and we're squared up at 26 apiece for the SSNA club. 6:22 remaining in the opening half.
There's tremendous patience on the offense there, Murph.
Chilcott out wide, Brewster for 2, and it's good. The game all of a sudden starting to go up a tempo here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre.
Yeah, and Brewster, they better take a look at her when she's out there on the perimeter. She is deadly from outside, making the Bandits pay as Rice fires up a 3. No good.
Comes down to Antonia Du to get the rebound for Nunawading. Drives it up the floor, goes inside the paint out wide. Gives it back across to Chilcott. Draws the contact by Kirby, who looks to have injured herself, but that is the 3rd personal on Mel Kirby. We still have 5:50 remaining in the opening half.
Yeah, those fouls are mounting up, Murph, and Coach Jackson does not hesitate to sit Kirby.
So Chloe Storer back on the floor for the Bandits' perspective. Antonia Du in across. And now Antonia Du received it back across from Slater. Now out wide is Rowe. Just rims out. Comes back Antonia Du. Possession again. Gets a screen by Shear. Spins inside and flicks a hand pass looking for Slater. Nunawading not on the same page there, and the ball is over the sideline and a Bandits ball.
Yeah, the physicality's definitely gone up, Murph. That is definitely the case, and with fouls mounting and a little bit of niggle in the paint, both teams realise what's on the line tonight, Murph. No doubt about that.
So Charisse Daniel into Hurst. Nat Hurst, hard move to the bucket, taken down by Shear. Being dominant on the board so far tonight. That's Kathleen Shear, averaging 15 points herself and 9 rebounds for the season. Now Boyd flicked it across to Rowe. Now Antonia Du. Go back inside across to Slater against Rice off the glass, and it's good for 2 points. 4 points the lead to Nunawading, 30-26 as we go 4:50 remaining in the half. Hurst to Edwards. Out wide, Storer thought about the 3. Guarded here by Rowe. Storer to Hurst. Well, Daniel could have taken a pick. Hurst, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Gets a screen by Edwards. Hurst flicks it to Edwards, a turnover. Slater taps it down and Tessa Boyd has possession. Boyd flicks across. Antonia Du out wide. This is Rowe for 3 for the Spectres, and they've gone up a level in the second.
Yeah, they certainly have, and it's the 3-point shooting, Murph. The outside shooting is really hurting the Bandits, and they seem a little bit all over the place here in this second period as Charisse Daniel tries to calm things down. A little bit of anxiety through the Bandits lineup as there's a foul.
Slater, I think, is the infringing player on this occasion. for the Nunawading Spectres against Rice. It is number 34. So there is an SSNA timeout here with 4:02 remaining in the opening half. The Bandits have slipped 7 points behind. It's the biggest lead of the match to the Spectres, 33-26, Colf.
Yep, absolutely, Murph. 33-26. As I said, the Spectres have settled a little bit better, and it's the outside shooting, which we speak about a lot so far this season. That has been the difference so far. If you take a look at that three-point percentage, Murph, yeah, they're 3 of 9, 33%. Not outstanding from the Spectres, but respectable. And the Bandits shooting at 22%, combined with the turnovers are quite even, but the turnovers and the foul count is really going up in the wrong direction for the Bandits. And Coach Jackson needs to really speak to her charges and find a way to curb this lead. 4 minutes to go, and Coach Jackson doesn't want that lead to get too far away, because then it's going to be a hard struggle in the second half, Murph. No doubt about that.
Nunawading have just recently signed a player by the name of Maddie Garrick as well, which will join the side from after the long weekend, I believe, Colf. So she is a Melbourne Boomers player, played in the 3x3 gold medal just recently, and returning from 8 weeks in Turkey. So well-credentialed player. So their playing stock set to be bolstered after tonight, which makes it even more important if they can get a W on the board.
Absolutely, as Edwards is called for a charge. Another hard foul. I didn't think there was much in that, Murph, but referee all over that one and says, no, we're going to head in the other direction.
So
Spectre's ball.
7 points, that lead, and pressure on the Bandits at the moment as Boyd palms off across to Slater, back to Tessa Boyd, and now Antonia Du into Shear, back to Antonia Du. A reverse layup is good under the bucket.
Yeah, and what tends to happen, Murph, as those fouls mount, all of a sudden there's easy buckets in the paint because they don't want to draw the contact and get, sit on the bench next to Coach Jackson. They want to be on the floor. So, as Sharice Daniel fires for three. Edwards over the top, Spectre's ball. We've got another off-the-ball foul. And Coach Jackson.
Plenty to think about, no question about that.
She doesn't know which way to turn right now.
So checking into the game, the first time that we have a look at Keely Frawley from Portland College. Keely Frawley checks into the game in the number 2. And Rowe finds herself at the line.
Yeah, and in a contest like this matchup tonight, Murph, easy foul shots with 3 minutes left in the period. Is an absolute luxury.
Double figures now the lead to make it 11. Kira Rowe, that's good as well. So she makes both counts, going at 77 from the free throw line, as I mentioned earlier. We have 3:10 remaining for the SSNA in the second stanza here. Daniel flicks it out to Nat Hurst. Bandits trail by 11. Need to start making some of their own buckets. Hurst drives inside, back out wide. Rice in towards Edwards. Hasn't had much of a chance inside the paint in this quarter. Now she does, draws the contact, and Jessie Edwards will find herself having a couple of shots.
Yeah, Edwards there actually turned into the middle of the paint and got herself in some trouble there. She moved right. Looked like she had the opening there to put that ball off the glass, but turned back inside. Bit of a bailout foul there. There was contact, but I thought she made harder work on that one than she had to, but she makes the first. She's battling hard in there. They need to go to Edwards more often. They've got a height advantage in there. And when things get a little bit out of control, they can just dump it into Edwards, let her create something.
So a 5-point lead at quarter time with 2:55 remaining in the second has diminished into a 9-point deficit for the Bandits. So it's been so far a 14-point turnaround. Nunawading having a very good second period here as Tessa Boyd brings it up the floor. For Nunawading, Antonia Du out wide. Now Tessa Boyd puts up the 3. It's no good. Hurst comes down with a rebound. And the Bandits to bring it up the floor. Storer. Kirby. Or Rice, I should say. Now Hurst into Edwards. Edwards puts it inside the paint, and it's good for 2. So Jessie Edwards starting to have an influence late in the half.
Yeah, right on cue there, Murph. The double team actually came across, but Edwards too tall. Got the soft touch, soft roll, big bucket.
Frawley flicks it to Scher. Out wide, Antonio Du. Room to have a shot for three. Doesn't go. Hurst comes up with a rebound. Been efficient at that tonight. Across to Cerise Daniel. Drives under the bucket and called for
double dribble.
Yeah. So turnover the Bandits. Own worst enemy at times so far in this second.
Yeah, plenty of turnovers, plenty of cheap fouls. Making it hard to get any kind of momentum into this lead, Murph.
Three here for Frawley. Welcome to the game by Keely Frawley.
And when you're giving away wide open threes, defensive lapses makes it even worse. The lead at 10, 140 left as Cerise Daniel looks to create.
Drives inside.
Hurst.
Here is Rice for two. That's no good. Comes down and taken away by Shear. Out wide, this is Tessa Boyd for three. A little strong. Daniel comes up with it. And the Bandits get possession back, trailing by 10, 1:17 remaining in the half. Cerise Daniel calls the play. Hurst into Edwards, back to Hurst. Thought about the three. Steps inside. Rice back across to Edwards. She's hard fouled. The bucket just misses. And Edwards will go to the line.
Fantastic pass there from Rice. She zipped that one in like a laser beam, Murph, and lucky Edwards had her hands up. That one would have hit her right in the melon, for lack of a better term. And she goes to the line. Rice doing a good job here. Good minutes from Rice tonight. And she's had to provide those minutes, Murph, with some star players on the bench in foul trouble.
Edwards gets the first one to go. 1:03 remain. Jessie Edwards finding herself at a line a couple of times the opening half. So we tick under a minute to play. Nunawading will go in with a lead at halftime, you would imagine, from here. Frawley combining with Pizzi. And now Frawley flicking across to Boyd. Gets a screen here by Nankervis. Antonia Du for three. Had a big opening half, Antonia Du. A big bucket. And the margin, again, our biggest we've had for the night, 11 points. For the SSNA club, 35 seconds remain. The Bandits with no answers to Nunawading in the second. Daniel steps inside the paint, puts the shot up, misses. Comes down and Frawley comes up with possession across to Tessa Boyd. Spectors with the ball. Boyd gets a screen from Nankervis, flicks it back across, and Nunawading turn it over themselves. Daniel around the back, gets around Boyd, steps inside. 5 seconds remain in the half. Daniel with the ball will have the last shot, loses it. And with 2 seconds, the Bandits will get the ball back and will need to invent something to get a bucket.
Yeah, Coach Jackson, another timeout. I don't think Coach Jackson is really over the moon with the amount of dribble going on there with Daniel. It's been a frustrating first half for some of the marquee players in the Bandits squad, and Coach Jackson frantically trying to find something that works here as we've got 2.2 left on the clock, Murph, and the lead is at 11. So the Spectres with a well-deserved lead. Their outside shooting has been exceptional in period number 2, and they've looked a lot more settled on offense. And the Bandits need to make some adjustments and really calm things down in the second half, wouldn't you say, Murph?
Without question. Can they come up with a bucket right now? So it's been a good turnaround by Nunawading. 16 points. They've turned it around since quarter time when they trailed by 5. So the Bandits to come out, they'll have the last possession of the opening half. A couple of players in early foul trouble for the Bandits, but they hasn't got worse in the final half of this quarter. So just Mel Kirby with 3, a few on 2. Mahadi flicks in Edwards under the bucket, and a nice little block there by Pizzi gets us across to half-time. Nunawading do well defensively, And the Bandits go to the break trailing 43-32. And Nunawading, the Spectres, the visitors, will be very, very happy with their opening half work.
Go through. Take a look at those numbers, Murph, and as the stats coming through, we've got the Spectres shooting at 53% field goals there, so they are a very, very impressive period in the second period. 34% for the Bandits, their three-point shooting, 36 for the Spectres, really respectable percentage there, 20% for the Bandits, so they're in a real lot of trouble there when it comes to their outside shooting. They need to lift in that area. The rebounding's very even, 19 to 15. If we take a look at the turnovers, Murph, what have we got? Turnovers, it says 6 apiece there, but I think that a combination of the turnovers and the fouls from the Bandits is a big reason why they trail by around about 10, 11 points in the first half. Bottom line is they're going to have to find a way to stop the fouling, stop the cheap fouls, and start to make some outside shots, otherwise they're going to lose this ball game.
And just with in terms of the leaders, Jesse Edwards with 12 and Rachel Antonia Du with 12 points as well. Kira Rowe with 11 in double figures, and Nat Hurst with 9 for the Bandits. But this is interesting here. Kayleen Scher has been outstanding. 6 boards tonight, but Nat Hurst, she only had 1 at quarter time. 4 boards in that second has really stepped up Nat Hurst to get 5 for the game. And in terms of assist, Harmon and Rice for the Bandits with a couple each, and Sharon Boyd with a couple each for Nunawading. So at halftime on the Alan McCowan Memorial Night, thanks to the SSNA Club in Albury, bringing you NBL1 action tonight between the Nunawading Spectres and the Southern Vale home Bandits. It is the Bandits trailing 32 to the Nunawading Spectres 43. We'll take a break. Jade Cole, Steve Murphy back shortly with a big second half. Welcome back to the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre here in Albury, Wodonga. Nunawading leading at half-time over the Bandits, 43-32. A broadcast brought to you by the SSNA Club in Albury. If you want to watch the NBA Finals action, that is the place to go. Check out the screens and go and have a look around. They'll actually be open this weekend for the Soccer Champions League final, which will be on at 4:30 tomorrow morning, or 5 a.m. 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, so you can get along to the locker room. They'll have everything open, egg and bacon rolls as well. Check it out. Jade Cole, Steve Murphy in commentary after the Bandits led by 5 at quarter time. The Spectres have certainly turned things around on the other side of it, and they now lead by 11 points, so a 16-point turnaround. It is the Alan McCowan Memorial match tonight here in Albury. If you're unfamiliar with exactly who that is, he was a champion. They regard him as the greatest ever player to play for the Southern Vale Home Bandits. Alan McCowan, 357 games. He ended his career with steals, blocks, points, assists, all in the top 10 of the Seabill situation, so in the competition. So a champion without question, and tonight the annual memorial match in honour of that man right there. But at the moment, Colf, man, can his side, the Southern Vale Home Women Bandits, can they come back from 11 points down? We certainly think they can, but they'll have to play better than the ball that they certainly played towards the end of the opening half. Yeah, they certainly will, Murph. They need to improve that outside shooting. Their three-point shooting is way too low right now. They need to stop the cheap fouls that have been creeping into their game on defence, and they need their marquee players such as Emma Mahadi, Nat Hurst and Cherise Daniel to lead the way in all those areas, both with the outside shooting and at the defensive end. So they definitely have got their work cut out for them, Murph, but they've got some real work to do. And Coach Jackson, I'm sure at halftime, let all the girls know that what's required here in the second half. So we commence the second half. Emma Mahadi to start with the ball for the Bandits, and goes back to the captain in backcourt in Hurst, and now Daniel. So the Bandits looking to start with some momentum in the second half. Hurst across to Mahadi. Around the outside of the arc, across to Daniel. Drives in the left, inside to Edwards, and a nice little block there coming via Pizzi, who flicks it across immediately out to Chilcott. Brings it up the floor, charges into Mahadi, no call. Shear from the top of the key, no good. Edwards comes up with a rebound, and the Bandits possess the ball once more. Yeah, Mahadi got away with one there, Murph. That was almost a block. Referees let the play go as Hurst goes baseline. Cherise Daniel for three. Whoa, it's a hot start. Just what they needed, Murph, right there. Daniel, that's what she can bring to the table for the Bandits. Now Antonia Du. 12 points, such a good opening half. Shear back to Antonia Du. Heavily guarded by Nat Hurst. Gets it across inside to Pizzi. Back to Antonia Du. Pizzi put on a good screen. And Antonia Du's two's no good, and the Bandits have a chance for back-to-back buckets to commence the second half. Great intensity there from Nat Hurst, leading from the front to start the second half, Murph. Edwards around to Hurst. The start of a double-header for the Bandits, heading to Melbourne tomorrow. An offensive foul here called. And the Bandits can ill afford a lot of those. They're getting a number racking up on their board at the moment. It looks like that one's gone to Edwards, I believe, Murph. Which will be her second personal. In fact, it's going to Cherise Daniel. So wow. 3 personals against Cherise Daniel now, unless that's a mistake. Cherise looked a bit confused after the whistle, Murph, so... Well, she's still on the court at the moment. Antonia Du back to Pizzi. Nice move by Antonia Du around Daniel, but the Bandits come up with it with Edwards. I fancy Daniel might head off the court pretty short with those 3 personals. She has possession now. Driving around to her right. Inside to Edwards. Drives to the bucket, draws the contact. And Jessie Edwards has a habit of this. Draws plenty of contact underneath the bucket and will go back to the line again. Yeah, nice work there from Cherise. Good creativity, and Edwards flashed to the hole. While that play went on, Coach Jackson was, to say the least, was not impressed with the referee's decision on the last play there, Murph. She went in the locker room fired up, and she's come out with steam as well. So let's just keep an eye on that. She's been in constant chatter with the referees. She wants to
about some of these calls. So let's keep an eye on that for the fans.
Jessie Edwards up to 13, having a big effect on this contest at the moment. She leads all comers out on the court. It'll be a Spectres ball from the sideline here. So 7:59 remaining in the third for the SSNA club in Albury. Antonia Dew across to Shear. For Nunawading, drives inside. Antonia Dew off the glass against Daniel, and it's good. Daniel careful not to give away a fourth personal tonight.
Yeah, you said it right there. Daniel couldn't be overzealous on that one there. She's playing with 3 fouls.
And Daniel, who's already landed a big 3 so far in this quarter, across to Hurst. Gets a screen here by Harmon. Back to Harmon by Hurst. Puts the shot up. A little wide. Well, Daniel did well to keep it alive. Mahadi couldn't control it. Shear fed back to Chilcott. Drives up the left wing. Chilcott in towards the paint. Flicks it back out wide. Well, Pizzi fed across to Antonia Dew. Goes under the bucket. Big block by Jessie Edwards.
Great work there from Edwards. Antonia Dew looked like she had the layup. The long arms of Edwards. Great defense.
Pizzi, Chilcott. Screen by Shear. Chilcott drives in amongst 3 bandits. Doesn't go. Harmon to Mahadi. Emma Mahadi. Harmon. Hurst. Now Harmon to Edwards. And Edwards drives on the left, puts it up off the glass.
What a move.
Count it, 3-point play potentially coming up.
Looked like there wasn't much on there, Murph, and shot clock winding down, and Jessie Edwards says, well, I'm just going to put it on the floor. Why not? And she made it happen. And that thing bounced off the glass, off the rim and in. What a move from Edwards.
So Jessie Edwards starting to have a big effect in this game. She stays on 15 points at the moment, however, and the ball comes up here with Pizzi, who palms to Chilcott. 79% the Bandits going from free throw territory. 67 for Nunawading as Shear goes out to Antonia Dew, flicks it across to Pizzi. Antonia Dew drives under the bucket, out wide for Rowe for 3, and it's good. Nothing but net, always on target. Margin goes back out to 10. Hurst to bring it up the floor. Across to Edwards. Here is Daniel. Out wide. Harmon. Harmon puts up a little floater, no good, little hook shot. Across, Chilcott takes the rebound. Drives it up the floor quickly. Inside of the paint, back across to Shear off the glass. Tough move by Kayleen Shear for 2. And it's a 12-point lead to the Spectres as we go to another SSNA timeout.
Yeah, we certainly do. Shear slashing to the bucket, left-hand layup off the glass, Murph, and that is what she brings to the table. She's all class, and she's a lethal finisher. 50 points to 38 with 5:57 left in the third period. Just as the Bandits look like they're chipping away at that lead and making some inroads. The class of the former Duke product, Shear, keeps them at bay. And, you know, Coach Jackson, the intensity that she's showing over there on the bench is a real spectacle. And we know what a fierce competitor she was as a player. And she definitely brings that to the Bandits bench. Murph, as a coach.
You felt that the Bandits definitely worked their way back into the match there and had a bit of feeling towards it, but you look back at the scoreboard and the Spectres have only really increased their lead from quarter time. That was 11 back out to 12, so they've answered in every way possible. Kira Rowe having a big effect on the game. She's got 14 points right alongside Rachel Antonia Dew as well on 14, and for the Bandits, Jessie Edwards at the moment playing the lone hand with 15, although Nat Hurst has got motoring. She's on 9, but has been for a little while, so Nat Hurst can have these periods where she can go on a little mini scoring run and bring the Bandits right back in under control in the game. So can Nat Hurst potentially step up for the Bandits here? Or Mahadi, who loses possession on cue. Chilcott drives it up inside. Antonia Dew has been a handful to Pizzi, and the little floater's good for 2.
Antonia Dew, a handful. What a pass. She is doing it all. Antonia Dew in the point guard position, shooting from the outside, getting her teammates involved.
14 points. The Bandits want to be careful not to have it extend too much further. Mahadi out wide for Daniel. Daniel for 3. The Bandits need it, and it doesn't go. but the foul is called, and it'll go against Rowe, and it will be Rowe's third personal tonight, which puts her in a little bit of trouble. 14 points. She's been a thorn in the home team's side so far tonight, but 3 personals will find herself off the floor.
Yes, and you take a look at the scoring there for the Bandits, Murph, with Mahadi on 3 points and Daniel on 7 now. Charisse is at the line right now, a chance to add to that 7 points as she makes the first. But, you know, with Edwards, and you did say Nat Hurst there before, not much support. And Mahadi and Daniel are going to have to get a move along and get the scoreboard ticking over.
So Daniel gets the first couple to count for the 3-point play, and they're all good. So Charisse Daniels as good as a 3 there. The margin goes back to its half-time for the SSNA of 11. 5:13 remain in the third. Chilcott palms to Antonia Dew. Steps inside to territory. Back out wide for Chilcott. Now Shear across, and this is Pizzi floating it in for 2 more to Nunawading. Nat Hurst with the ball. Daniel. The Bandits struggling for a bit of flow as Harmon pops in a couple. Chilcott. Almost good hustle there by Hurst to turn it back. Antonia Dew inside the paint out wide. Brewster steps in for 2, misses. Edwards will get the rebound for the Bandits. And, well, a reckless pass straight across here to Shear underneath the bucket.
Wow, it's almost like she didn't see her there. Threw it straight to Shear.
Hurst to Daniel. Storer back on the floor against Brewster. Hurst. Out wide, Storer. Daniel for 3, and Charisse Daniel lands her second one in this term. And if you count that with her 3-point play earlier when she was fouled, on fire from out there so far. Antonia Dew inside the paint, now has a battle on her hands. And jump ball call, it'll be the Spectres ball.
Yeah, Murph, we were just talking about that scoring, and Charisse Daniel has come to the party. Like she realises she needs to be more aggressive. They're going to need that scoring. She moves along to 13 points. That starts to look a little bit more healthy for the Bandits. And Harmon also has been known to make some buckets. She only has 2 points. She's found it hard to get into this game offensively. They're going to need something from her as well.
So Chilcott to have it from the baseline. The Bandits again trying to work their way back in the contest. We're down by 14, now 10. 3:51 for the SSNA remain in the third. Boyd goes out wide to Pizzi. Now Shear. Boyd called for it. Shear opposed to Harmon. Flicks it back across to Pizzi. Misses. Rebound. Hard rebound to Chloe Storer. Does nicely under the bucket. Out to Charisse Daniel. Inside to Harmon. Harmon thinks about it. Puts up the little hook. Doesn't get it to go, but is called for the foul eventually. And Harmon will go to the line for a couple of shots to bring it back to single figures.
Yeah, good work from Harmon there. She needs to be a little bit more aggressive. She's got tremendous... She gets the ball down there in the low block, Murph. She's very versatile. And she's got to have more confidence, get more shots up, especially when she's got such amazing post position down there. She was very, very deep in the layup area there, and to get this back within under 10 points once again, Murph, with 3:30 left in period number 3.
So Harmon's first bucket is good. And Emily Harmon counts both and goes to 4 points for the game. Chilcott with ball in possession. Slater back to Chilcott. In the paint, puts it up, draws the contact, and luckily for the Bandits it doesn't count, but for Nunawading will find herself at the line. First personal against Emily Harmon tonight. 3 to Mel Kirby, who's on the bench. Charisse Daniel with 3 as well for the Bandits, and 3 each to Pizzi and Rowe. Kira Rowe. And, of course, Rebecca Pizzi for the Nunawading Spectres as Chilcott makes the first count. 2 from 2, and the margin slides back to double figures of 10. Hurst brings it up the floor. Mahadi on Alan McCowan Memorial Night here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Harmon, Rice for three, it's good. Molly Rice takes her opportunity, and the Bandits close within 7. First time they've been that close for a period of time.
Yeah, Molly Rice, once again, she's been fantastic tonight so far.
Chilcott into Shear, puts it up off the glass. Good move.
Another left-handed move there from Shear.
Hurst goes into Harmon. Beautiful assist, Nat Hurst. Harmon with a finishing touch.
Great stuff from Nat Hurst. Fast break points. Great awareness from Nat Hurst.
Chilcott, Brewster, now Shear. Drives underneath the bucket, puts it up, draws the contact, and gets the bucket to count. Big move by Kathleen Shear.
Yeah, there she is again. Every time the Bandits look to be making inroads, it seems to be that girl Shear who creates a bit of brilliance, Murph, and she's done it again. Makes the tough shot, goes to the line for the M1.
So Kathleen Shear counts it, goes to double figures for the night for her, 10. And Nat Hurst with possession. Across to Kirby, back on the floor with 3 personals. Mahadi, 2:15 remains. Mahadi open, look for 3, doesn't go. Shear gets the rebound. And up the floor come Nunawading. Chilcott and Shear combining. Chilcott, mid-range jumper, no good. Hurst with another rebound for the Bandits. Having a good night under the boards for Nat Hurst. Now Kirby. Hurst, open for 3. Nat Hurst puts up the shot, a little short, taken by Tessa Boyd. And Nunawading get another stop. Now Boyd up the floor, flicks it out wide. No look to Brewster, looks for 3, misses. Mahadi taken away by Shear. Too tall. Brewster. They get a new shot clock, Nunawading. Brewster inside for Shear. Flicks it across. And now with a second left on the clock, Chilcott out wide. Shot clock does beat Nunawading on this occasion. And the Bandits get the ball back as Jessie Edwards checks in for Emily Harmon, who checks out of the game.
Casey Ardern into the game too, Murph. Casey, top of the key. Mahadi, slashing move to the bucket. There's a blocking foul there.
So it's going to be called on the 21, Tessa Boyd, I think it is. It'll be her second personal of the night. Just over a minute to play, 10 points the margin. And Mahadi at the line. Goes the first one. Emma Mahadi so far this year, 74% from the free throw line, averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists a game. Mahadi counts both. And that margin swivels back to 8 as we have 1 minute exactly remaining. 60 seconds in the third here, thanks to the SSNA club in Albury. Chilcott across to Shear. Now, Shear, Bandits looking for a block out wide. Chilcott for 3 for Nunawading. Fouled as she threw it up. And we'll go to the line for Nunawading, a vital stage in this third term.
Yeah, that one looks like it's on Mel Kirby, I believe, Murph. And Coach Lauren Jackson just sits back in the chair and he's a little bit disappointed with that one there. They played great defense there. The shot had missed. Clanged that one off the iron and bailed out. Foul shots, that one hurts.
Well, Chilcott herself 78% from the free throw line, so just as well as good this bucket, you'd imagine. So 2 from 2 for the 3-point play to match, which Reese Daniel did earlier in the term. And Chilcott gets all 3 to count. So with 47 seconds remaining, the margin is at 11 where we were at halftime. So the Bandits so far with no inroads. Arden goes across to Storer, back out wide for Arden. Steps inside towards the paint, turn over to Chilcott. And Nunawading have chance to add some points late in the quarter. Drives to the bucket, Chilcott, misses. Underneath was Edwards. The ball goes out off the Bandits, and Nunawading will get the ball back. 27 seconds remain, 14 on the shot clock. Bandits will get the ball back. So this is, well, Brewster got the assist by Chilcott, puts in the 2. The margin goes to 13. Bandits, their last play of the quarter. Arden across to Edwards. Now Mahadi. Mahadi, guarded here by Boyd, gets a screen from Edwards. Out wide for Arden, back to Mahadi. There's 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Mahadi puts up the 2 shot. Doesn't count. The foul will be called on Emma Mahadi, the offensive foul. And Mahadi will start the last period on 3 personals.
Yeah. Obvious call there from the referee. Didn't jump straight up, jumped straight into the defender.
Chilcott, last shot. Ball goes out, and that is the buzzer for the end of the third. The Bandits, well, they made some inroads, got it back to 7 from 11 at half time, but Nunawading late have put it back out to 13 points for the SS&A club. 68-55, Colf, and we're about to take a look at some of these stats from the opening half on Alan McCowan Memorial Night, and well, they're in a nice position here, Nunawading.
Yeah, you take a look at these numbers, Murph. The Bandits are shooting at 40% clip from the field. Nunawading, very impressive at 51%, doing a great job there. The 3-point shooting from the Bandits has improved, Murph. They're up to 36, but Nunawading have them covered at 38%. The rebounding, the Spectres dominating the glass, 29 rebounds to 22. Blocks very even, assists very even. And if we take a look at the turnovers, the turnovers of the Bandits getting out of control now, Murph. 11 turnovers to the Spectres 7. And they seriously have their work cut out. Down 13 with 1 period to play. Coach Jackson needs to pull something out of a hat here, otherwise it's going to be another loss for the Bandits.
Jesse Edwards, 15 points. Kira Rowe, 14 points alongside Rachel Antonia Dew. And they've both got 14 points for Nunawading. Kathleen Shear's close to a double-double. She's got 11 points for the game, 9 rebounds. And Nat Hurst, I guess you put in the same boat, 9 points and 6 rebounds so far in the match. Chilcott leads the way. Eliza Chilcott for Nunawading with 4 assists, 3 to Emily Harmon alongside Chloe Storer. Kathleen Shear also with 3 for Nunawading. 13 points. They are looking for an 8th win of the season to cement their place in the top 8. The Bandits looking for a scalp tonight, and they'll need to dig deep and try to find something in this last period if they're to get up and cause the upset tonight.
Yeah, they certainly will. Buckets just have not been easy to come by tonight, Murph. They've struggled to find any kind of flow on offense. The outside shooting has improved. The 3-point shooting, we speak about that a lot, but it's not where it needs to be to make inroads into that Nunawading lead. And the first 3 to 4 minutes of this last period will tell us a lot here in the commentary booth on whether or not they're going to make a run and make some inroads and get that scalp that they much need.
So the Bandits do start with the ball. This is with Charisse Daniel. I'd imagine would need a little cameo from her in this last. Edwards puts up the 2 shots. No good. Harmon comes with a rebound. And the foul has been called. It'll be a Bandits ball. From the sideline, I reckon it is against Slater. It is her 3rd personal of the night. Mahadi to bring it back in. Edwards puts up the little jumper. No good. Comes down to Chilcott. The Bandits again missing from field goal range. Now across. This is for 3 with Shear from downtown. Up in the air. Comes down there across. Well, Charisse Daniel tried to keep it alive, but unfortunately Nat Hurst come off her back and it's out. It'll be a Chilcott and Nunawading ball. Now this is with Boyd. Brewster. Steps into range inside the paint, puts it shot up, a little shallow, taken by Harmon, flicks it across to Hurst, drives around Shear, flicks it into Edwards underneath the bucket off the glass, is good for 2. Nice transition by the Bandits there.
Yeah, just what was needed from the Bandits, Murph. Nice easy bucket to start the last period.
Now, Slater feeds across to Chilcott in the paint, out wide for Slater. She's open for two, and it misses. Rolled around, did a 360, had a bow peep. Didn't go. Mahadi up the floor quickly, into range, drives against Slater, and will be called for the offensive foul, I fancy.
I think it's called a block there, Murph.
Block for called.
I believe it's... Oh, she's
No,
called
it is,
charge.
yeah.
It is a charge. Wow, I thought it was a block to start with.
Fourth personal against Emma Mahadi.
Mahadi just cannot get a tricky out there.
And that makes it very difficult for Mahadi out on the floor now as the ball is knocked out by Charisse Daniel. The Bandits making a change. Mel Kirby is going to check in for Emma Mahadi, and both those ladies are on 4 personals at the moment, so it's a like for a like, if you will, Cole.
It certainly is.
Yeah, we're all good on the sidelines here. So game set to recommence. Nunawading with the ball. Chilcott in control by 11. Nunawading for the SSNA final quarter. 8.5 minutes remain. This is Brewster for 2. Misses. Comes off Hurst's hands. Down to Boyd. Last touch was off Nunawading, and the ball will go the way of the Bandits. So Hurst to bring it up the floor. Beyond or under 8.5 to play. And now Daniel to Kirby. Can't afford another foul. This is Hurst against Boyd. Gets a screen by Edwards. Nat Hurst puts up the 3. No good. Chilcott taps it down across to Boyd. Boyd charges up court. And then stops and props for a moment. Tessa Boyd. Shear. Back to Boyd. And now Chilcott. Drives against Hurst, inside the paint. Chilcott puts it up, no good. Bobbles around a little bit, comes up. Well done, Kirby. Gets the rebound across to Nat Hurst. What can the former Opal provide? Out to Charisse Daniel. Thought about the 3, goes into Edwards. Jesse Edwards out wide. Hurst is open for 3, and it's good. The Bandits needed that to say an understatement. 7:38 remaining, big SSNA bucket.
You don't want to leave Nat Hurst wide open. Great offense there. Jesse Edwards, beautiful pass. The electricity's gone up a notch, Murph. The energy on defense is lifted. There's not a turnover, is it? No, they've got the ball. Shot clock at 5.
Boyd with the ball, steps in the paint, puts it up, floater, misses. Daniel comes up with a rebound, and crowd, which is building tonight, starting to become involved in this game. Daniel out wide for Edwards. Here is Harmon, mid-range jumper. That's no good, and the Bandits miss another opportunity. Chilcott comes up with the ball up the floor. 8 points the margin. Under 7 to play in the final period. Chilcott goes out wide to Brewster, inside for Shear. Spectres with the ball. They're controlling the game at the moment. Mid-range jumper is good for 2. And the margin back out to double figures for the Spectres.
There she is again, Shear. She ticks along to 13 points, and they've been 13. Big buckets, Murph. Feels more like 30. Timely buckets from Shear.
Hurst goes to Kirby, back out to Edwards. Now Daniel. Hurst calling for it on the left. We've got 3 seconds on the shot clock. Daniel puts up the 3, and that's good. A little move to the right. Charisse Daniel has been hot from downtown tonight. 16 points for the game.
That is a tough move there. Moving right. Nothing but net, Murph.
Shear has it. Drives out to the right against Edwards. Flicks it back inside. Chilcott puts it up, and it's good for 2. Kirby quickly back into Nat Hurst. Drives against Tessa Boyd. Out wide for Daniel. Gets a screen by Edwards. Daniel in. Well, try to go back to Jesse Edwards. Taken away by Shear. Flicks across to Boyd. Back out wide. Brewster puts it up for 2, and that's good. And a big turnaround there by Nunawading. And the margin goes back out to 9 points in favour of the visitors.
Yes, and that girl again, Brewster, she is deadly on the 15-footer, Murph. I don't think she's missed one all night long. That's her spot. And as we said before, just as some inroads are made, the Spectres, they have all the answers that lead back to 11 with 5:40. Time is running out for the Bandits to get that scalp that they are chasing here tonight on their home floor.
So, for the SSNA club in Albury, it really is still set up here. You just sense there is another chapter in this one, Colf, man.
Yeah, this game's still in the balance.
Yeah, 100%.
The Bandits are doing a good job. They're getting up and down the floor a lot quicker. Okay, instead of just walking the ball up, they are getting out there and they are running and gunning, and that's what they need to do. They need more possessions. They need more stops. They need more three-pointers and outside shooting. The only way they can do that is be aggressive and attack, and that's what Coach Jackson has them doing as Nat Hurst brings it up the court again.
Daniel, Bandits up to 41% from three range, 35 for Nunawading into Harmon. A little fumble could cost, comes back. It'll be a Bandits ball. It'll go the way of Sharice Daniel. Rebounds 34-27 in favour of Nunawading. Up by 7 in that category. Now Daniel out wide for Kirby. Back to Daniel for three. Sharice Daniel, it's good. A big-time player, Sharice Daniel.
Another one from Sharice Daniel.
Antonia Du brings it up the floor across to Chilcott. And the Bandits remain with a pulse. Antonia Du out wide for Chilcott. Steps inside, gets to the paint. Chilcott puts it up, been big in the last, misses. Pizzi was good, stolen away by Edwards. Jump ball the call. It'll be Nunawading ball. 66-74 for the SSNA club. 4:59 remain in the match. 8 points the margin to the Spectres. It was as much as 14 during the third. Antonia Du, 14 points tonight, been outstanding. Flicks it across to Shear against Edwards. The two big players out on the court, and Shear, nice spinner move.
Shear again, soft touch. Another deadly bucket from that young lady.
Daniel into Harmon. Nat Hurst. Harmon drives inside. Edwards, top of the key, puts it up. No good. Comes down to Chilcott, takes it away. And Nunawading to put some more distance in this game. Rowe to Shear. Antonia Du into Pizzi. Antonia Du thought about the three. Guarded by Harmon. Drives against Kirby. Now Chilcott gets inside the paint, puts it up, and it's two. And Chilcott now up to double figures, 11 points, and having a big effect on tonight's contest. Edwards out to Kirby. Bandits need a response. Chilcott guarding on this occasion and called for the foul. It'll be Chilcott's third personal of the night against Eliza Chilcott.
Aggressive move there from Kirby. She put that ball on the floor. Looked to get to the rack as Edwards.
SSNA timeout called by the Spectres here, Colfman. 3:59 remaining in the contest.
Yeah, look, it's been Sharice Daniel, the Sharice Daniel show in this last period. We did speak about who was it that was going to step up for the Bandits, and Sharice Daniels put her hand up. All of a sudden, she's bombing threes like they're going out of style. And that was one thing that we spoke about at half-time, that they need to improve. And as you said before, Murph, I loved it. You said they do have a pulse, and that's all they can ask for at this point in time. But they're going to need absolutely everything to go perfect. Otherwise, this is going to be another loss for the Bandits tonight.
4-0 run at the moment to the Spectres to get that margin out to 12. The Bandits seem to be able to get it back within probably 3 buckets, and then that's as close as they can get. And then it's just taken away by Nunawading.
And as you take a look at those stats there, Murph, they are shooting 50% from the field overall, the Spectres. That is great in anybody's language. If you are shooting that percentage with 4 minutes left in the ball game, there's every chance that you're going to be in front on the scoreboard, which they are, and they are dominating the glass as well. 35 rebounds to 27. Bandit's got to play perfect, Murph, otherwise this is another loss.
Just a reminder, the records for these two sides, the Bandits 6-4, the Spectres 7-4 coming in tonight. So almost identical records. Rice underneath the bucket, foul called against Pizzi, and Molly Rice will go to the line for a couple of shots to bring the margin back to 10.
Molly Rice has been great tonight, Murph. Off the bench, she's had plenty of opportunity as that foul count continued to rise. The bench players have got plenty of court time. Molly Rice has been good. She misses the first. She's got 7 points. Make that 8 points.
Yeah, it's not bad for off the bench, is it? Shear comes in.
She's done a great job.
Antonia Du guarded by Nat Hurst. So we have under 4 minutes to go. Antonia Du drives up to the left. And foul called here against Hurst. Called for the foul. And I reckon that's Nat Hurst first of the night. It is against Natalie Hurst. Almost a clean sheet for her. Now this is Chilcott. Antonia Du across to Shear. Passes, tries to get across to Antonia Du for three. Antonia Du deep misses. Pizzi underneath the bucket. Easy rebound, offensive rebound and 2 points.
Yeah, no box out there, Murph. That one hurts. Second chance points.
Daniel flicks across to Rice, and now Hurst into Harmon. Hurst drives in for two. Nat Hurst puts it up, misses. Harmon gets the offensive rebound. A little floater is also short. Comes back, taken by Shear. And Shear flicks across to Chilcott. So 13 points, the lead to the Spectres. Rowe with it, across to Shear. And now this is Chilcott receiving from Pizzi. Back to Shear, in towards Pizzi underneath the bucket. Misses. Harmon with the rebounds.
Good rebound there from Harmon. Daniel.
Well, Molly Rice puts the shot up. I fancy for two. It is for two.
Rice.
Just had her foot on the line there. So cuts the margin back to 12. Chilcott brings it up the floor. Gets inside. Still this ball game very much in the possession of Nunawading. Across, Antonia Du flicks it out wide for Rowe. And now back across. Pizzi thought about the three. Rowe, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Antonio Du into Shear. Easy basket for Shear.
There's that lady again, Shear. Easy layup. The lead seems insurmountable, Murph, with 2:10 left in this ball game as they flick it wide to Mel Kirby.
Need a three.
Daniel, another three.
Need a three.
Off the back end. Spectres ball.
Chilcott to bring it up. Inside, nice assist across to Pizzi. Well,
layup.
misses it, but second chance point. She'll go to the line eventually. The foul goes against Mel Kirby, and that will end her night. So Kirby checks out of the game with 5 personals.
Frustration foul there from Mel Kirby.
And the Bandits, this one, all but slipped away from them. 13 points down, 1:53 to go. They've shown a real fighting spirit, but Nunawading just a bit too good, it appears, on the night. First shot misses by Pizzi. At 63% from free throw line this season, gets the second to go. So going at better than one every couple of goes. Mahadi out to Rice, and now Daniel. 14 points there behind the Bandits. Arden out to Mahadi, works it inside to Rice, puts the shot up, misses, comes down, last touch comes off Nunawading. It'll be a Bandits ball. So 1:33 remain. 69-83 for the SSNA club on Alan McCowan Memorial Night as the Bandits honour their greatest ever right here in his home stadium, the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Mahadi to Harmon. Harmon off her foot, loses control, ends up with Mahadi. Gets to her feet brilliantly underneath the bucket and draws the contact for the foul. Mahadi will go to the line. Nice play.
Yeah, great play from Emma Mahadi. There's no quit in that girl right there. Got great dribbling exhibition there. She got up, went baseline. She knew she was going to get absolutely crunched, and she did.
Rebecca Pizzi will foul out of the game as well with 5 personals, 9 points for the afternoon, or the evening, I should say, for Rebecca. Has done her job as she checks out with under a minute and a half to play. Mahadi adds the first points to take her tally to 6 for the night. And to take it to 7, it's good for Mahadi. Slater, inbound ball, goes across to Chilcott. So Slater, Chilcott to the paint, out wide. This is now putting up a little floating shot here. Coming onto the court is Bakalata. Bakalata putting up a shot late, just finding herself on the floor. Under a minute to go. Mahadi, Arden, Rice. Rice tries to flick out to Daniel. Now Mahadi. Bandits down by 12, and that remains. Mahadi misses. Bakalata passes intercepted, stolen away by Mahadi to Daniel, inboard to Rice, out wide. Arden for 3. Casey Arden misses, and Chilcott gets the rebound. Last rights of this one, under 30 seconds to play. The home team will get the ball back, but for the moment, the visitors will enjoy their 8th win of the season. Rowe out wide. Bakalata drives inside the paint, out wide to, well, Nankervis puts a little jumper up, no good. Mahadi comes up with it, 11 seconds remain in the ball game. Mahadi drives up court, inside the paint, puts it off the glass, and a late 2 points to Emma Mahadi to take her to 9. And the Bandits back within 10, 2 seconds, 1 second. Nunawading Spectres pull off the victory here away from home tonight to increase their record in the women's competition NBL1 to 8 wins and 4. They'll probably go higher up than 6th position on the ladder for the Bandits. They're very much back in the rat race now. Jade Kolf, 6-5 record for the SSNA club.
Yeah, they certainly are, Murph. They failed to get that scalp that we talked about earlier on in the coverage. And the Spectres come in here tonight and were just far too good. The foul count for the Bandits went up very, very early. Coach Jackson was frustrated and they were not able to make any inroads to that halftime score. As we take a look at the stats there, Murph, you know, Spectres very impressive, shooting at a 47% clip for the contest. Bandits at 39, that is quite low. 3-point shooting, the Bandits it doesn't look too bad, Murph, 38% overall, but a lot of their 3-point shots came when they were trying to make inroads to that lead. 38% not too bad. The rebounds, Bandits were dominated, 42 rebounds to 32 for the Spectres. Assists quite even, 15 to 12. And if we take a look at the turnovers, 13 turnovers to 9. So the Spectres took better care of the ball. Overall, it was a better team effort from them. They were coached well, very well disciplined. And they are moving in the opposite direction of the Bandits, and the Bandits failed to get that scalp.
Scoring leaders on the floor tonight for the Bandits, Reece Daniel with 19, Jessie Edwards with 17, and Natalie Hurst with 12. And for the Nunawading Spectres, Kathleen Shear, 17, Kira Rowe with 14, had a very good game. And also the girl that really lit it up for 3 quarters, Rachel Antonia Du, was outstanding with 14. A double-double for Kathleen Shear, 10 rebounds for her. 8 rebounds to Eliza Chilcott and 7 rebounds each to Emily Harmon and Jessie Edwards for the Bandits. In terms of assists, 4 to Emily Chilcott and Emily Harmon, M. Harmon with 3 and Chloe Story with 3 each for the Bandits. That's it from the women's game. In the end, Nunawading, too good, running out 10-point victors and a much-needed win. Jade Kolf, we're going to get set because we're really looking forward to what should be a spectacular men's game. It's coming up pretty shortly.
Absolutely, Murph. Looking forward to it, mate. First game, Bandits just pulled up short, but this next one should be a beauty, and we're going to bring it to you live.
Come back and join us from 8 p.m. as the Southern Vale home Bandits men take on the second-place side in the NBL1 competition, the Nunawading Spectres.